Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Ultima 6, The False Prophet. In our last episode, we were working on ways of making money. So let's get back to dropping off all of our items and get back to it. Okay, and we can just drop the bag. Oops, apparently I'm moving all these items into the bag. Well, that's alright though. And we're going to keep on the swamp boots. Finally, Shamino is just going to drop all his items here. And the end result being that our party will be as unencumbered as it's possible to be, able to carry as many items as they can. Okay, so now if we look at our party, nobody is holding any items, except for the avatar. We need the book. And oh, you know what? The spell book isn't really going to do us any use right now either, so we don't have any reagents, so let's just drop the spell book as well. And we'll drop this pile of gold over here. And we'll drop the sextant. Alright, that's it. Now we are ready. So the reason I had everybody drop all their items and unencumber themselves is so that they would all be able to carry as much as is possible. And we're going to go right now. Let's ignore Finn once again. We are going to go right now to the town of U. And we are going to be searching for something. If we head westward out of the town of U, let's avoid battle if we can. And we're just going to go wandering through the woods here and seeing what we can find. We're looking for a specific creature that lives in these woods. A creature that if you've played previous Ultimas 4 and 5, was always an enemy before. But in this game is something a little more. If we're lucky, we'll stumble upon one. That's part of the reason why I kept our swamp boots, just in case we have to walk through swamps. Okay, here's something to the northeast. Let's take a look. Nope, just a snake. Let's run for our lives. The avatar has no ability to cure poison at this point. We're taking a little bit of a risk here, but as night falls, hopefully we'll be able to find the creature we're looking for. I found one. Here we go. There's actually several of these creatures. Thou dost see a wisp. You see a strange, glowing ball of energy. Again, you of this plane address I of the Zoranite dimension. By what name do you wish to be addressed at this time? Okay, I'm attentive. Very well, attentive. Do you have memory of previous discussions with myself? No. So be it. I must often repeat information when conversing with the life of Britannia, it seems. I do not see how each unit of life here can have different memories, different desires, but again, I inform Britannia, that it is not so in my realm. Those which you know as wisp in Britannia are projections of the life of Zorinia. I extend into many planes beside this one. Britannia communicates with me very seldom and is known by those of very few other planes. Every time I speak with Britannia, it seems I must explain my nature again, as I have just done. That is very strange. So basically, it looks like we've run into an extra-dimensional creature, one who is not individual. Each of these wisps are apparently manifestations or of one single intelligence, which finds it very strange that each of us are individual intelligences. There's some sort of hive mind, perhaps. So what is your name? The concept of name is one I still do not grasp. I believe that when you ask me to use attentive as a form of address, it has something to do with name. When Britannia addressed me with the name Zog, an attempt was made to explain. But still, I do not understand. Okay, that's interesting. Zog, we've heard that name before. If you remember, the museum just outside of Lord Burnish's castle has an artifact called the Bones of Zog. I wonder if it's the same Zog. Let's ask about Zog. Once when I offered sample information to Britannia, the name Zog was given by the life unit that received it. No further contact with Britannia was obtainable for some time after this. Perhaps misuse of the sample information was responsible. So he mentioned the word you. I and you are words that seem to have no meaning. I mimic the way you use them in this language out of courtesy. Interesting. What is your job, Wisp? Zorinia serves as a conduit for information between different planes. In exchange, these planes provide information that can be used to improve Zorinia. Occasionally, payment is accepted in the form of substance, but this is not preferred. What kind of information? Britannia has never participated in the interplanar exchange of information. I have presented a sample known in Britannia terms as a secret, but no further interest has been shown. A secret, you say? Because of the nature of Britannian memory, I now present the sample information to you again. The wisp pulsates, fading from blue to white, and then back to blue again. As it does so, a scroll materializes in your hand. This is a simple invocation of magic energy to bring about the cessation of all life. It is not a very useful or powerful form of magic, as it will only affect beings in the same plane where it is invoked. Inform any wisp unit if you have interest in further exchange. Okay, the wisp apparently gave me a spell that could bring about the cessation of all life. If that's the same spell that it apparently gave to Zog, and if Zog, after receiving this, there suddenly was no more communication with Britannia for some time, I wonder if Zog used that spell. I hope he didn't. That would be very unfortunate for him. So he mentioned substance, that they exchange things for substance. Actual physical materials are so plentiful throughout the multiverse that they are of little value. Information has much greater worth. Alright. And he's mentioned if we were interested in exchange. Well, let's see if we're interested. If you present a reasonably dense source of information to a wisp unit, arrangements will be made to transfer some suitably valued commodity into Britannian possession. So, after all that talking, the reason we came and talked to the wisp is, as you remember, we found a very dense information source, known as the Book of Lost Mantras. The vagaries of the language you speak are quite beyond me. Perhaps another line of inquiry would prove more fruitful. Let's go ahead and say bye for a second. I find it unusual that you find it so important to inform me of the imminent cessation of proximity between one unit of Britannian life and one of Zoranite. Nonetheless, in accordance with your custom, goodbye, Attentive. Let's go ahead and talk with him one more time. Now that we've talked to him a second time, the volume you bear with the symbol pattern representing the sounds, the Book of Lost Mantras, is a prime source of high-density information. Do you wish me to locate a client who is willing to make an exchange for it at this time? Why, sure, we'd be happy to sell this book to you. For a few moments, the wisp pulses, saying nothing. It is done, the wisp says at last. Urkelworm have expressed desire to possess this information. Hoping no doubt for a bargain, Urkelworm have offered a small substance of the substance gold in lieu of the customary useful information. But surely you wish me to arrange for Urkelworm to provide information of value to you. Am I correct to assume this? Let's say no. If we say yes, that Wisp will give us information, and I will tell you right now, as a spoiler, that that information is actually useful to the completion of our quest. Sort of. We can complete the quest without the information from the Wisps. It isn't vital information, it's just related to our quest. Instead, let's say no. Let's ask for some substance, for the, quote, small amount of gold. Very well. You have not sent enough life units to transport much substance, but it is your decision to make. The wisp glows just a trifle brighter for a moment, and suddenly everyone notices that their packs have grown heavier. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Now let's go ahead and check our inventory. Everyone has as many gold nuggets as they can carry. And that is how you make gold in Ultima 6. Let's quickly use the Orb of the Moons and head back to Lord British's castle and before we get into a fight of some kind. So in Ultimas 4 and 5, the Wisps were enemies. They were simply random monsters, patterned off of the old Will of the Wisps of lore and legend. In Ultima 6, however, the Wisps, as you can see, are a life form you can talk with, and in future games that remains true. In Ultima 7, they're actually a major part of the plot. So let's go ahead and find a spot to rest really quickly till the daytime, because there's one last step to our money-making quest. We're not quite far enough out of town to actually rest. We'll go ahead and rest for 6 hours or so, and the Avatar will stand guard. Hopefully no enemies stumble upon us. Okay, we didn't rest for quite long enough. I should have just rested for the full 9 hours just to get us entirely through the night. There we go. Alright, so heading back into town, we now have, as you may have seen, hundreds upon hundreds of gold nuggets. And as you may also remember from a previous episode, there's someone who's willing to exchange all of our gold nuggets for gold coins. Terry, here at the Mint. Before we go any further, we're going to save our game, because this has the potential for crashing our game when we try to exchange this many gold nuggets all at once. Do you have any gold nuggets you'd like to trade in for crowns? Yes, we do. Normally there's a 10% tax in the exchange. But since you're the Avatar, I'll give you a full 100 crowns for every stone's weight of gold you have. She exchanges all of your gold nuggets for newly minted crowns. And now, everybody is carrying thousands upon thousands of gold coins. More than they can actually carry. And in fact, now I'm going to show you a caveat, a danger. Let's go ahead and get rid of Finn. A danger that can happen now. In my previous playthrough, when I was playing this game and when I beat it the last time, I didn't think ahead, and so what I went ahead and did was I didn't want to carry that much gold with me all at once. I figured I only needed a little bit of time, so I looked over here and I was like, oh, here's a convenient empty chest. I had everybody drop all of their gold into the chest at once. The problem was that created a pile of over 10,000 gold coins. Unfortunately, no character in the game is strong enough to pick up that pile of coins, and there's no way to separate them once you've created that pile. Once that pile exists, you cannot separate them out, and I had gone to the wisps, gotten over 10,000 gold coins, and I couldn't use a single one. So to avoid that, we're going to be a little more careful here. We don't want to put all of our coins into one spot. Instead, we're going to drop our coins in convenient piles. This new room will become the Avatar's treasury. Alright, let's go ahead and grab our items here. I believe these are the Avatar's items here. Yes. And unfortunately, the Avatar put all of his items inside the bag. By accident. We'll go ahead and really quickly re-equip. And we'll go ahead and move this spell into our spell book where hopefully nobody can stumble across it, because the last thing we want to happen is for somebody to stumble upon the Armageddon spell. We don't want to end up like poor Zog. Okay, this is going to require a little bit of creative maneuvering here. Dupre's going to come back in and grab his items. Oh, sorry, his items are way too heavy. We're going to have to do the same thing we did before here. And I apologize if this is a little tedious. Like I said, this episode is unfortunately not about accomplishing any quests. It's about getting money. And boy, did we get money. Oops, sorry. Alright, now I should be able to get some... Oh, my total is still too heavy, unfortunately. That's because I put everything in that bag and I can't pick it up all at once. Let's try now. There we go. Let's go ahead and equip our needed items. And all of these other armor and weapons and stuff, we can go ahead and leave them in this bag. It helps keep Dupre's inventory relatively clean. We'll move the rest of this gold back to the Avatar. Alright, Shamano's turn. We'll pick up what we can as we can. I'm not sure where Shamano's armor went. But we'll keep an eye out. It's probably been moved into somebody else's pile by accident. Okay, there we go. That's almost every available bit of space here. Shamano will drop the rest of his items in just a moment. Let's actually go ahead and move on to the next person here. I'm not dropping all of the gold that they're holding in one pile, because I'm worried that once they drop it, they won't be able to pick it back up. That's why I'm doing small 500 gold piles. Oops. That hopefully aren't going to get lost. Now, I thought we had moved some crossbow bolts into YOLO's pile, but I guess they got lost, and I'm hoping that's not a bug in the game. I'm hoping it doesn't happen to our gold. I'm going to be saving our game before we leave this area, because I'm a little worried that we're going to, again, not be able to use all this wonderful gold that the wisps gave us. Okay, Leona's equipped again. And last but not least, Leodun. So it's a bit tedious, as you can see, but I think you can also agree that there are some advantages to getting more gold than can possibly be carried by anybody in the world. Okay, so our next step, before we quit for the day, there's one last thing I'd like to do. Shaman's going to go ahead and put down another 500 coins. See if I can give this to the avatar. There we go. And let's see if we can move this to the avatar. Excellent. Can we move this to the avatar? That's too many. Okay. Okay. Okay, so the avatar is now in possession of over 1,000 gold coins. And what we're going to do is we're going to very quickly make one last little trip here. Okay, our bag with the Orb of the Moons is here. And before we leave the castle, we're going to go ahead and save really quickly. Just to be sure that leaving the area isn't going to go ahead and lose our all of our gold. Because if it does, then we'll have to come up with another solution. Maybe we'll have to put them in individual bags and separate them out in the bags. I don't see that being a problem, though. And we're going to travel up to the town of Trinsic and make one nice little purchase before we quit for the day. And this should make our adventuring a little bit easier, because our party already has some fairly good weapons. A halberd is certainly an excellent weapon for the avatar to use, although I believe we've lost the halberd. I think his halberd vanished. We're going to have to get him a new halberd. And YOLO's going to have to get new crossbow bolts. Everybody else seems to be alright, and YOLO and Shamano need to get new armor. So as you can see, my concerns about the game being a little buggy about keeping track of items aren't entirely unwarranted. We're going to have to be very careful about this. Okay, in the meantime, we're waiting for the gentleman to come back from lunch. Let's go ahead and wait here for the blacksmith to return. Our questions about armor are going to be resolved in just a moment. There he is. He's returning from his lunch. Let's get out of his way. And we'll go speak with him. Okay, we would like to buy from you. And we would like some armor. Here's what we're looking at. He sells magic armor and magic helms. Magic armor costs 350 gold. We would like to buy 6 sets if possible. Unfortunately, Attentive doesn't have enough money for that. Or, sorry, enough weight for that. Alright, hold on just a moment. There's an easy solution to that, of course. Let's find the character who is the least burdened, and that would be Shamino. We'll move all the money to Shamino. And now he should have enough weight remaining to be able to do this. Once again, we like to buy armor for Shamino. Magic armor. Okay, we were able to buy 4 sets of magic armor. The avatar is now wearing magic armor. And let me show you the advantage of magic armor. Plate armor will absorb 7 points of damage. Magic armor will absorb 10. Meanwhile, that plate armor weighs a whopping 12.3 stones, whereas your magic armor weighs only 7. Let's go ahead and move this last piece to YOLO. So now, our 4 main characters all have magic armor, and we only need 2 more sets for Leona and Leoden. Let's talk to him again, and we're going to go ahead and sell off the plate mail. And he's not willing to buy the chain mail, unfortunately. And I believe the magic armor was 360 gold pieces, which is less than we have. 350. We are 10 gold pieces too short. We'll make a quick trip back to Lord British's castle. And this was my concern. As you can see, it was well warranted. All of our gold is gone. So there is a way around that, unfortunately. We did save our game, and we're going to go ahead and restore it at this point. And that's where we're going to leave off for today. In our next episode, we're going to have to find a way to store all of this gold safely in a way that we can access it. That's going to be a bit of a problem. In fact, what we're probably going to end up having to do is having maybe Leona and Leoden become pack mules. And for the time being, have our characters store a lot of their extra items that they don't need in this chest down here and have everybody just carry as much gold as they can until we can buy all the magic armor and magic helms that we want. Once we've done all that, then the rest of the gold that we'll need is just really for purchasing spells for the avatar and reagents. And after that point, we should be set for the rest of the game. But we'll handle all that in our next episode. In our next episode, we're going to have some creative accounting on our hands, and we'll then begin starting to level up for our eventual trips into the dungeons of Britannia. I'll see you then.